Oh, hello. I'm famous camera explorer Ronan Gimble. I'm here in a top-secret science lab, that's definitely not a film studio, to be teaching you the incredible secrets of the Canon C100. We'll be covering the 5 main key functions, as well as some other goodies. Join me, won't you? Hello, lab rat.
Hi, Ronan Gimble.
What are you doing here?
I'm looking at the key functions to operating this Canon C100.
Wow, could you show me them?
Yeah, sure. These 5 key functions can pretty much operate any professional camera. The first one we have here is the ISO. The ISO is how sensitive the sensor in the camera is to light. The lower the number, the lower sensitivity, so the darker the image will be. However, the higher the number, the higher the sensitivity, so the lighter the image. If you go too high, you can produce a lot of grain and noise, ruining your image. You can see this when we...
Bloody hell, cut, I can't work like this. So, lab rat, what's the number one?
Well, the second key function, and I'm glad you asked, is aperture. By opening and closing the lens, you can allow in more or less light. This has several benefits. If you open the lens, allowing in more light, you can have a shallower depth of field. If it's too bright out and your images are overexposed and all blown out, just close it again, and that should solve the problem there. Aperture is measured in f-stops, so an aperture of 1.4 is much wider than say one of 22, like this Samyang lens just here. Now I've closed it, my image is much darker, and my depth of field is greatly increased.
Tell me about that one, stutter speed?
I think you mean shutter speed.
Ah.
Now shutter speed is how quickly the sensor is exposed to light. A higher shutter speed will allow you to capture faster moving objects, such as Formula 1 cars or most sports. In the UK, we usually use a shutter speed of 1/50. That is because the frame rate is 25 frames per second, but in the US, those cheeky monkeys, they like to use 24. If you increase the frame rate, you can get some really nice slow motion. And again, if you lower it, you can get some really nice time-lapse.
Now, there's one more, isn't there? White balance.
Yeah, that's right. White balance affects how the camera sees light. Did you know that there were different colours of light? Who'd have thought it? But you can actually get daylight, which is 5,500 Kelvin, there or thereabouts. And you can also get tungsten, the bulbs that you find in most of your homes, about 3,500 Kelvin. Tungsten is a much warmer colour. It's more orange, while daylight is much more blue.
And now we're going to talk about peaking. Peaking is a tool used to help set focal range. It highlights the areas before and after the pinpoint focus. Anything in between these lines will be in focus. Next is the zebra option. The zebra is used to control the exposure levels. The tool shows the areas that are overexposed by highlighting them with the black lines. Also the waveform monitor, which is another feature to help find correct exposure. If the monitor is on 0, the image is completely underexposed. And if it's on 100, you know it, it's overexposed. This measurement is called IRE. Thank you for joining us to learn about the Canon C100. I hope you've had fun, and good night from Ronan Gimble. Canon C100, Canon C100, Canon C100.